Hey everyone, this is Siva with Pickleball RX. Here to do one more review. That review, we are at Pickle Rage. I think they have demos of the new JOOLA 5s. JOOLA V Agassi, 16 millimeters, Perseus, and then Kosmos, So I have Tyler with me here, and he did a review on Carbon TruFoam Barrage before. So we hit with these paddles, kind of to get an initial impression of them. And I think Tyler hit with them more than me, so he has a better idea of these paddles. So I used to play with JOOLA Perseus 4, 16 millimeters. It was kind of my main paddle before, so I was kind of excited to try this out. So I'll let Tyler talk about the Agassi 16 and then Cosmos, and then I'll talk about my initial impressions on the Perseus 5. So Tyler starts with Cosmos, right?
Yeah, we'll start with Cosmos.
Cosmos. So the Cosmos is the new product. So this is the first time JOOLA got into the hybrid, and Cosmos is, I think, Federico's Types Root's signature paddle, 16 millimeters. And the 14 millimeter is the Tyson McDuffin signature paddle of Cosmos. So it's hybrid. And Taylor has been playing with Carbon TruFoam Barrage hybrid shade. So what do you think about Cosmos in comparison to TruFoam Barrage?
It's definitely a big difference for sure. A lot of people thought that the Hyperion was JOOLA's hybrid version of a paddle, but technically this is their first hybrid version. This is a true hybrid. The flat top, I like a little bit more than like a curved hybrid. It almost feels more of a wide body S type paddle. I have good and bad things to say about it, as kind of what we're going to talk about. There's not many changes coming from the Pro 4 to the Pro 5, but I do think this is a solid paddle. It's not bad. I think if you add some weight in certain places, it could be a good paddle to be able to help your game out a little bit, but it's definitely, I don't have that plush factor I got with the Agassi. I felt a little bit more plushness in the Agassi, a little bit more of a almost like hollow-esque dull feeling with the Cosmos. But again, it's all based off feel for a lot of people. I did feel the kinetic, the kinetic core or the kinetic edge that they had through my shots to the baseline. So I did feel that. That's one of their things they're really, really bringing up is that kinetic. And then I was telling Siva, one thing they did do through all their paddles is they put a small piece of carbon fiber above the core within the edge foam or the foam edge guard as well. So that's a couple changes they made, but through both of these, I don't see the biggest thing to really upgrade from your Pro 4 to the Pro 5 unless you're really just in love with this Cosmos shape. If you're in love with it, 100%, but I just don't see the big thing for a big upgrade.
Okay. So I think this is priced at $299, right? So 300. I mean, I think at $20 more than the previous version. It's still Gen 3. Like you said, they made a little bit of changes here and there. The main thing I was looking for is the grip. I don't think it's any different from JOOLA Perseus 4 or the 4, So let's go with, how do you compare this with the TruFoam Barrage hybrid,
Oh,
which is your
my favorite out of both of them is still going to be the TruFoam. Again, you're playing Gen 3 against a Gen 4. The Gen 4 that has a lot more grip. It's more of a stiffer S paddle than the Cosmos. Again, it's all based off feel for you. I feel like my resets and drops were a little bit better with the Cosmos, but the Barrage was just a lot better of a feel for me than it is the Cosmos.
Yeah, I agree. I felt like Barrage had more pop, at least, for your counters than this. So next, let's go to the Agassi, and you played with the Agassi 4 before, right? Like a supple Agassi. How does this compare to that?
Honestly, I think there's a little bit more of a difference in the Agassi 4 and the 5. I feel like the 4 was a little bit more of a hollow feel. The 5 plays a little bit more dense, a little bit more plush, which I was kind of surprised. And again, there's always going to be a break-in period when you talk about Gen 3 paddles. So we're going to see how they continue to feel the more you play with them. But I was honestly a little bit surprised and kind of pleased a little bit with Agassi, more than the Cosmos and the Perseus, at least.
I'd say. Okay. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about Perseus 5, and I played with Perseus 4 for quite some time. So I felt, they added that flexibility factor. So I did feel that flexibility right off the bat, but it may be a little bit more pop compared to the 4. But other than that, I didn't feel much difference. Again, this is just preliminary impressions.
Yeah.
Like Tyler was saying, we need like a little bit more time for break in and get used to. So final question is it worth the upgrade, right? Like this is priced more. So if you are one of those JOOLA fans and you like JOOLA 4 and you've been using it for more than 3 to 6 months, maybe your paddle is, out of kind of trying to be worn out or maybe closer to be like your co-crash, it's probably a good idea to upgrade to JOOLA 5. They still have JOOLA 4s on sale, probably they'll come on sale. There's a little bit of difference in, I don't know if it's what the upgrade for you, but if you are a JOOLA fan, for sure, go and, buy it. Remember, this is still Gen 3, so it's still at risk of core crushing. JOOLA 4, the biggest challenge was the core crush.
I spent like this one.
Yeah.
Air problem core crushing for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that extra layer is going to prevent core crush. So even the pickleball reviewers in the community were talking about it, but I personally wouldn't buy it because I'm now addicted to foam. So I'm a foam fan. Anyway, that's it, guys. This is Siva and Tyler again. Thank you, Tyler, so much. Sorry to keep bothering you, but we do appreciate. I think they do have it at Pickle Rage for sale. So I think it's available for $300. So plus taxes. If anybody's interested, please buy. Thank you, guys. Again, this is Siva and Tyler signing off. Have a great day.